Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we are exploring Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover,
Okay.
and we're going to be using a series of YouTube videos that break down the book.
Sure.
You're probably familiar with the basics, but we're going beyond the surface.
Right.
Get ready for some aha moments as we uncover the surprising psychology behind,
Yeah.
our financial choices and explore those sometimes controversial
Yeah.
baby steps towards achieving financial freedom.
Well, you know what's interesting is that Ramsey doesn't sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
He argues that the biggest obstacle to achieving financial success is us.
Yeah.
She says we are the problem with our money.
Okay.
And that's a powerful statement to unpack.
It sounds harsh initially, but there's a very liberating truth to it. Like
Yeah.
it's about taking ownership instead of
Absolutely.
blaming external factors.
Exactly. It's about recognizing that our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors
Yeah.
around money directly shape our financial reality. And one of the biggest things that trips us up are those pervasive money myths
Yes.
we often accept as truth.
Oh, those money myths.
Right.
Like the classic debt is a tool.
Yes.
I used to think that too. But Ramsey really dismantles that belief, doesn't he?
He certainly does. He points out that debt creates risk and a psychological burden.
Yeah.
It's like carrying a heavy weight around,
Okay.
making it harder to move forward financially.
Yeah.
And, there's a whole ecosystem built around keeping us stuck in those myths.
Oh, yeah.
Think about those 90 days, same as cash deals.
Yeah.
They sound great,
Mm-hmm.
but they're designed to entice you to spend more than you would otherwise.
It's almost like a psychological trick.
It is.
Right. And it plays on our desire for instant gratification.
It does.
Then there are the get-rich-quick schemes,
Right.
the ones that promise effortless wealth and financial freedom overnight.
Oh, yes. Those are particularly insidious because they prey on our hope and desperation.
Yeah.
Ramsey tackles those head on,
Mm-hmm.
highlighting how they often lead to financial ruin.
Right.
Real wealth, he argues, is built through consistent effort and discipline, not shortcuts.
So that brings us to his famous 7 baby steps,
Yes.
which are all about building a solid financial foundation.
Yes. Step by step.
Step by step.
The steps are designed to work together,
Okay.
much like building physical fitness.
Right.
You wouldn't attempt a marathon without first mastering the basics.
Yeah.
Similarly, you wouldn't jump into investing before addressing your debt and having a solid emergency fund in place.
Makes sense. It's about creating a solid base to build upon.
Yes.
And speaking of building, baby step 1 is all about setting up that initial $1,000 emergency fund.
Ramsey calls it mirthy repellent
Okay.
because it helps you avoid those unexpected financial setbacks that can throw your entire plan off course.
All right.
He shares a story about a family who avoided a major crisis because they had that small cushion saved up.
I read that having even a small emergency fund significantly reduces financial stress.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like having a safety net.
It is. It provides peace of mind and helps you avoid falling into debt when unexpected expenses arise.
Right, and let's be honest, unexpected expenses.
Always,
Yeah.
always arise.
It's not a matter of if, but when.
So true. So once we have that initial $1,000 tucked away, we move on to baby step 2, which is tackling debt with the debt snowball method.
This is where things get interesting
Okay,
and perhaps a bit controversial.
right.
The debt snowball focuses on paying off the smallest debts first,
Okay.
regardless of interest rates.
Now, some argue that it makes more sense mathematically to tackle the highest interest debts first.
There are people who say that.
So why does Ramsey advocate for this approach?
Because he believes that behavior change is more important than math in this case.
Okay.
He argues that those quick wins from paying off smaller debts create a psychological momentum that keeps you motivated and prevents you from getting discouraged.
No, it's about building confidence and establishing a pattern of success.
So it's like a positive feedback loop,
It is.
right? Each small victory fuels your desire to tackle the next debt.
Precisely. And that sense of accomplishment is crucial for staying the course, especially when you're dealing with a mountain of debt.
Right.
It's not just about becoming debt-free.
Yeah.
It's about developing a healthy relationship with money and establishing positive financial habits.
It's about that total money makeover of the heart, as Ramsey calls it.
Exactly. And this brings us to baby step 3,
Okay.
which builds on that sense of security we started with in baby step 1, building a fully funded emergency fund
You okay?
to cover 3 to 6 months of expenses.
So we've tackled our smaller debts, we're feeling motivated, but we still need to build that bigger safety net.
Right.
I can see how this step would bring immense peace of mind.
It is.
Imagine knowing you could weather a financial storm without going into debt.
It's incredibly empowering. It reduces anxiety and gives you the freedom to make choices that align with your values rather than being driven by fear or scarcity.
So we've laid the groundwork with the first 3 baby steps tackling those smaller debts, building our emergency fund,
Yeah.
and creating a sense of security and control over our finances. But we're just getting started in part 2.
Okay.
We'll dive deeper into those wealth-building steps, including baby step 4, which is all about investing 15% of our income for retirement.
We're looking forward to it.
Welcome back to our deep dive into Dave Ramsey's Total Money Makeover.
All right.
We've covered the foundation of financial stability, tackling those smaller debts and building that emergency fund.
Right.
Now it's time to shift gears
Okay.
and explore those wealth-building steps.
Yeah.
Ready to dive into baby step 4?
Absolutely. Baby step 4 is all about investing 15% of your gross income for retirement.
Okay.
It's where we start putting our money to work, letting it grow and compound over time. This is where the magic of compound interest really kicks in, right? But I've always found investing a bit intimidating.
Uh-huh.
There are so many options and strategies,
Right.
and it can feel overwhelming.
Yeah, I hear you. It's easy to feel lost in the sea of financial jargon and conflicting advice.
Right.
But Ramsey simplifies things by recommending a diversified approach using 4 types of mutual funds:
Okay.
growth and income, growth, aggressive growth, and international.
Okay, break that down for me.
Okay.
What exactly are these mutual funds and why these specific types?
Well, think of a mutual fund as a basket of stocks.
Okay.
You're essentially pooling your money with other investors to buy a diversified portfolio of companies.
Okay.
Growth and income funds, for example, invest in companies that are considered stable and pay dividends.
All right.
Growth funds focus on companies with strong growth potential.
Gotcha.
Aggressive growth funds, as the name suggests,
Uh-huh.
are more volatile but offer the potential for higher returns. And finally, international funds provide exposure to companies outside of the U.S. market.
So by diversifying across these different types of funds,
Okay.
you're spreading the risk and potentially maximizing your returns over the long term.
Exactly.
It's like not putting all your eggs in one basket.
Precisely. And Ramsey stresses the importance of starting early and staying consistent with your investments.
Right?
Remember Joe and Susie, the couple who consistently invested $500 a month for 40 years?
Oh, yeah. They ended up with almost $6 million.
Yes.
It really highlights the incredible power of compound interest and consistent investing.
Absolutely. And that brings us to a point that often causes confusion.
Okay.
You see, Ramsey strongly advises against borrowing money to invest, but he encourages investing 15% of your income before you pay off your mortgage.
So how does that reconcile with his debt is dumb philosophy?
Well, he believes that the power of compound interest working in your favor over the long term,
Mm-hmm.
especially when it comes to retirement, outweighs the potential gains from accelerating mortgage payments.
So it's about striking that balance between minimizing risk and maximizing potential growth.
Exactly.
He's essentially saying, let's tackle that mortgage debt, but let's not neglect our future selves in the process.
That's a great way to put it.
And speaking of the future, Baby Step 5 tackles another big financial goal saving for college.
Ah, yes, college savings. Most people assume that means going into debt.
Right.
But Ramsey offers a different perspective.
He does. He vehemently opposes taking on student loan debt
Yes.
and encourages families to explore all sorts of creative strategies
Right.
to make college affordable.
Right.
He's got some pretty unconventional ideas like considering trade schools or
Yeah.
the military as
Yeah.
viable pathways to a successful career.
Right.
He also talks about the importance of starting early with college savings plans like 529 plans and ESAs.
And he encourages parents to guide their children toward scholarships, grants, and work-study programs as ways to minimize or even eliminate the need for loans. He emphasizes that there are countless paths to a successful future, and a 4-year college degree isn't the only option.
So it's about empowering students and families to make informed choices that align with their values and financial goals.
It is.
Now get ready for this one, folks, because Baby Step 6 is a biggie.
Baby step 6 is all about paying off your home mortgage.
Imagine owning your home outright. No more monthly payments.
Right.
No more interest. Just pure financial freedom.
It's a dream for many.
It is, but it can feel daunting, especially if you bought into the idea that a 30-year mortgage is just the way things are.
Right.
But Ramsey challenges that notion, doesn't he?
He definitely does.
Yeah.
He points out that being mortgage-free frees up a significant amount of cash flow
Uh-huh.
that can be used for other financial goals like
Yeah.
investing more for retirement, or giving generously.
Okay.
He also talks about the psychological benefits of owning your home outright,
Yeah.
the sense of security and peace of mind that comes with knowing you're truly debt-free. He even suggests having a barefoot mortgage burning party to celebrate that milestone.
I love that it's such a visual representation of achieving financial freedom.
It is.
But let's be honest, getting to that point requires a lot of discipline and sacrifice.
Right.
Especially after years of being conditioned to believe that a mortgage is just a normal part of life.
It's about shifting our mindset and challenging those ingrained beliefs about money.
Right.
Remember the monkey experiment Ramsey talks about?
Oh, yeah, the one where the monkeys learn to punish any member who tries to climb the ladder to reach the bananas.
Exactly. They've internalized this belief that striving for something better is futile, even though it's within their reach.
Wow.
It's a powerful analogy for how we as humans often conform to societal norms around money, even when those norms are harmful.
We accept debt as normal, even though it can be incredibly destructive.
Right.
We buy things we don't need to impress people we don't even like. And sometimes we even sabotage our own financial goals because we're afraid to stand out or challenge the status quo.
It's about recognizing those patterns and consciously choosing to break free from them.
Right.
And, this ties into another crucial aspect of Ramsey's philosophy,
Okay.
the concept of gazelle intensity.
Right. It's not just about following the steps. It's about the level of commitment
Yes.
you bring to the process. It's about tapping into that relentless drive to achieve your goals.
Yes, just like a gazelle escaping a cheetah.
Exactly. It's about becoming completely debt-averse and channeling all your energy into paying off those debts as quickly as possible.
He even encourages people to take on extra jobs or sell things they don't need to speed up the process.
Oh.
It might sound extreme, but sometimes extreme measures are needed to break free from the chains of debt.
It's about challenging yourself to examine your priorities
Yes.
and asking, what am I willing to sacrifice to achieve my goals?
Absolutely.
And speaking of challenging ourselves, there's one more baby step we haven't touched on yet. Baby step 7, which is all about building wealth and giving generously.
Ah, yes, baby step 7. It's the culmination of all the hard work and sacrifice to the point where you truly experience the fruits of your labor and have the freedom to use your wealth to make a positive impact on the world.
Okay.
But we'll save that inspiring conversation for part 3.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time to wrap up our deep dive into Dave Ramsey's total money makeover.
Okay.
We've covered a lot of ground, from tackling those pesky money myths
Right.
to laying a solid financial foundation and strategically building wealth.
Uh-huh.
And now we've reached the pinnacle. Baby step 7.
Baby step 7 is where it all comes together, building wealth and giving generously. It's the point where you've achieved a level of financial freedom that allows you to truly live out your values and make a difference in the world.
It's almost like reaching the summit of a mountain after a long and challenging climb. You can finally enjoy the view and breathe in the fresh air. But Ramsey doesn't want us to just stop there, does he?
Not at all. He believes that true wealth isn't just about accumulating money, it's about using it to make a positive impact. He encourages us to think about our legacy and what we want to leave behind.
He often talks about the 3 good uses for money: fun, investing, and giving.
Right.
So it's not about depriving yourself or living a life of austerity. It's about finding that balance between enjoying your wealth responsibly and using it to create a better future.
Exactly. He encourages people to savor the fruits of their labor. Perhaps take that dream vacation upgrade to a reliable car, or finally invest in that hobby you've always wanted to pursue. But he also emphasizes the importance of continuing to invest wisely so that your wealth continues to grow and support you throughout your life.
And of course, giving generously is a cornerstone of baby step 7.
Yes.
Ramsey believes that true fulfillment comes from using your resources to make a positive difference in the lives of others.
He talks about the ripple effect that generosity creates, how even small acts of kindness can have a profound impact on individuals and communities. He shares inspiring stories of people who have used their wealth to support their favorite charities, fund scholarships, start businesses that create jobs, or simply help those in need.
It's about recognizing that money is a tool that can be used for good, and that true happiness comes from making a difference in the world around you. You know, as we've been discussing these baby steps, it strikes me that Ramsey's total money makeover isn't just a financial plan, it's a philosophy for living a more intentional and fulfilling life.
It's about aligning your money with your values, taking control of your financial destiny, and using your resources to create the life you truly desire.
It's about recognizing that you have the power to shape your financial future and that achieving true wealth, both financially and in terms of personal fulfillment, is within your reach.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what stands out to you? What are some key takeaways that resonated with you?
Well, for me, it's the importance of challenging those ingrained money myths that often hold us back. I'm also struck by the power of the baby steps, not just as financial strategies, but as tools for personal growth and transformation.
I agree, and I think the concept of gazelle intensity is crucial. It's a reminder that achieving our goals requires commitment, discipline, and a willingness to push beyond our comfort zones. It's about tapping into that inner drive and relentlessly pursuing the life we envision for ourselves.
So, what's next for our listeners? Where do they go from here?
Well, the journey to financial freedom is unique for everyone, but the principles and strategies we've discussed today can provide a roadmap. It starts with taking that first step, perhaps assessing your current financial situation, creating a budget, or tackling a small debt.
It's about building momentum one step at a time and celebrating those small victories along the way. And remember, you don't have to do it alone. There are countless resources available, including Ramsey's books, podcasts, and financial courses.
And perhaps most importantly, surround yourself with a supportive community, people who believe in your goals and will cheer you on along the way.
We hope this deep dive has inspired you to take control of your finances, align your money with your values, and create a future filled with purpose and abundance. Remember, the power to transform your financial life is in your hands.